There are between 800 and 900 clues. I used the same grid as last year, but filled it with different clues. As a young child, I was interested in doing crosswords and solving them. And of course, as soon as I started solving them, I wanted to make them as well. So I'd make up my own versions, and my family would be having to solve them all. The person who did the crossword before me, Alan Richardson, had passed away the previous year, and they had a contest to see who would be the next crossword constructor for the Saturday cryptic crossword. And I put in a puzzle, as did many other people, and I think they sent it around the newsroom and people solved them that identified themselves as people that like crosswords. And in a blind test, they chose my puzzle. Well, it's a holiday-themed puzzle, so I have to have lots of holiday-themed words. And so solvers will notice that I've gone with one particular holiday theme song in this particular one and used it several times. And that was new for this year. And just filling in a bunch of other holiday songs, holiday events, and so on. So that's the basis of the type of words I'm putting in, but then you have to make it all fit together. So I'm just filling in with words that I think are interesting to solve. I also know that it's a puzzle meant for beginners or for families to do, so a lot of the words I try to make sure they're nouns, which are easier for people to solve and do, and fewer, just weird adjectives that, are a little harder to come up with the answers for. Pop culture can be a separator in terms of clues. If you're solving a regular crossword, then like the New York Times puzzle or things like that, then they have a lot of pop culture clues, but it's always for often the same word. So the word Eric, a man's name can be clued using all the different Erics that exist, and because they're trying to make it different every time, they're using different Erics all the time. So that can be a little more difficult if you don't know the particular Eric that they're cluing. But in a cryptic crossword, there's a lot less pop culture, and there's always another way to get the answer. So even if you don't know the fact, you might be able to build it by doing an anagram or putting one word inside another, or one of those tricks that come up in cryptic crosswords. Well, I'm a solver myself, so I know what makes a clue easy for me to solve and harder for me to solve. And so if I'm trying to make an easier puzzle, I'll try to write easier clues. When I'm going through and doing the test solving here today, if there's a clue I get stuck on, then obviously other people will get stuck on that, and I might want to change the clue, or maybe I'll think, no, it's okay for that one to be a little harder. And I sometimes get stuck on my own clues because there are a lot of them in this puzzle, and I just do them in order. But if there's, in some of my cryptic crosswords for the weekend, I purposely go through at the end and read through again to make sure that it's not too easy or too difficult. And sometimes if it seems a little on the easy side, I'll take out one of the anagrams and change it to something else, as I'm sure some of my solvers would be shaking their fist at me for doing that. But many people have told me that when they solve as a family, different people in the family get answers to different clues, and it's intentional that I've put in some things that I think younger solvers would know that the older ones wouldn't, and also things that older solvers would know that younger ones wouldn't, so everyone can learn a little bit from each other. Sometimes I actually have to look up things that I don't even know, just so I can put a wide variety of things in the puzzle.